In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Christ is risen. Please be seated. Have a small rest. Oh, no. We can see from the Gospel that Thomas did not believe in the resurrection until he saw Jesus alive. We know that because of the explicit confession of Thomas, unless I see in his hand the print of the nails, and place my finger in the mark of the nails, and place my hand in his side, I will not believe. But I have a question for you. About which of the apostles does Gospel positively say that he had believed before he saw Christ alive? Come on, brothers and sisters, I'm sure you know Gospel, the Gospel, so tell me please, about which of the apostles does the Gospel positively say, or at least somehow say, that he had believed before he saw Jesus? That's interesting, yeah. You know that, but just, yeah, okay. In John 20, we read, early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the entrance. So she came running to Simon Peter and the other disciples, the one Jesus loved, and said, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we don't know where they have put him." Did she believe in the resurrection that time? No, she didn't, definitely not. She thought that somebody has stolen the corpse. So Peter and the other disciple started for the tomb. Both were running, but the other disciple outran Peter. By the way, who was that other disciple? Who was him? John, yeah. He was John. And reached, so the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He bent over and looked in, and the strips and looked in at the strips of linen lying there, but did not go in. Why? Why did he not go in? I'm not sure here, but it seems like he was too anxious to step inside. He was just too anxious. Could he expect something? Something unusual, something that Jesus had told them before? Who knows? I don't know. But then Simon Peter came along behind him and went straight into the tomb. He saw the strips of linen lying there, as well as the cloth that had been wrapped around Jesus' head. The cloth was still lying in its place, separate from the linen. Well, that was very, very strange for, could hardly be explained by the corpse stealing. Because why would you undress the body if you wish to just steal it? But does the Gospel say that Peter believed in the resurrection here? No, it doesn't. But finally, the other disciple who had reached the tomb first also went inside. He saw and believed. That is the only one, the only disciple about whom the Gospel says that he had believed before he saw Jesus after the resurrection. They returned to the other disciples and told them what they had seen and what was the reaction. Again, we can deduce that from Luke 24 about Luke and Cleopas going to Emmaus, that piece of the Gospel. Now, that same day, two of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem, Jesus himself came up and asked them, "What are you discussing together as you walk along?" Cleopas asked him, "Are you the only one visiting Jerusalem who does not know the things that have happened there in these days?" "What things?" "About Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "He was a prophet, powerful in word and in deed before God and all the people. The chief priests and our rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel." We had hoped. We had hoped, but you know, it's now it's not the truth. And what is more, it is the third day since all this took place. In addition, some of our women amazed us. They went to the tomb early this morning, but did not find his body. They came and told us that they had seen a vision of angels who said he was alive. Then some of our companions went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but they did not see Jesus. And have the other disciples believed those companions? Definitely not. Jesus explicitly says that he said to them, "How foolish you are, and how slow to believe all that the prophets have spoken." So Jesus told them that they have not believed. He explicitly told them that. So John only believed before the resurrection. And I think Thomas is one of the most misunderstood saints we know about, at least I know about, and maybe the most mistreated one, by the way. This saying, Thomas unbelieving, which is often used to reprobate a hardhead who just refuses to accept the truth, refers to today's reading. When Thomas did not believe the other apostles who told him about the resurrection, he needed to see the risen Jesus to believe, but so did the others. They also needed to see him. Almost all of them, when their beloved teacher, their hope, their Messiah died, it was so painful for them. They were just afraid to believe, and possibly to have that pain again. If the new, even more impossible belief would fail them again. They have believed once. They felt themselves that they have been failed by that faith, and they just were afraid to believe again. But Thomas really wanted to believe. He remained with them. Just imagine that situation when all the others say, "Yeah, right, okay, he is alive," and somehow he has shown himself to all of them, but Thomas. And Thomas, of course, why, guys, are you crazy, all of you? But he remained with them, and eventually he saw and he believed. We used to flatter ourselves that Jesus' words, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe," were about us. We do believe, and we have not seen, and yes, we are blessed to believe. That is the truth. But the words were not just a statement that grace of God touching someone's heart. It was a compliment. It was a compliment to have a really brave and loving spirit, not afraid of believing again, no matter what. And the one to whom the compliment was told was the Apostle John, not ourselves. Sorry about that. He seems to be the only one of them who believed, yeah? So Thomas was not the most unbelieving of all. He just was the only one absent when Jesus first visited his apostles after the resurrection. And the last question is why? Why did Jesus visit the apostles when Thomas was absent? He could choose any moment. So, why he did so to Thomas? Why was not another one absent like John or Peter or James or whatever name, but Thomas? Why did Thomas? Why was Thomas alone absent? Not two or three of them. It would be not so hard, not alone, but with three of us were absent and stuff like that. So why did Jesus do that? That's a question. But you know what? The problem is that my sermons always fit on one page, and the page, you see, it is, it's just ended. So sorry about that, but I'm not going to answer this question today. Do it yourself, please.